Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about what you can do for yourself. We all get into these places where we wish that there was something we could do, we could eat, we could take that would make a difference for us. And one of the great things that um, wise people discover is that we can do for ourselves what we wish the world would do. So, take a moment and get yourself in a comfortable position. And if you have to make yourself too comfortable, that would be okay. Why were you not already in a comfortable position? Well, life happens to us. Take a few deep breaths. And notice how your body feels. As you continue to breathe in, pay attention to your breathing. Then when you exhale, just let out all the tensions from the day, from your life, flow out of your body. Split your mind and see if you can follow your own breath while simultaneously feeling any tight places in your body that need special attention. Scan your neck and your face to see if they are fully relaxed. Check your shoulders and your arms, your back. Notice the place where your legs are touching the floor or your chair. Really allow yourself permission to just breathe and relax on down for the next few moments. Those little tightnesses take up a lot of energy in our body that we're not usually even aware of. Now take a couple of more breaths, and while you do, pay attention to the sounds that you can hear in the environment around you. What's the most distant sound that you can hear? And what's the closest? Can you hear your own heartbeat? When you're ready, move your attention to your visualization and notice where you are looking in your environment. Are you looking at me on this recording? Just allow your eyes to relax and rest wherever they would want to, naturally. But allow your field of vision to open up so that you can see all the way out to the edges. Hear all the way out to the edges of your awareness. And feel your own sense of self expand to include your environment. After all, where is any of this happening except in your attention, your awareness? Most of us think that we have a mind in the real world, in our brain. But actually, everything we experience is inside of our awareness. So it's reversed. The tree that you see in the background behind me, that's in your awareness. Even if it's thousands of miles away. The sounds that you hear around you, that's in your awareness. We think that the environment is the container and that we are inside the container we call the environment. But think magically for a moment and you begin to realize that awareness is the container, and everything that we see, hear, or feel is inside of that container of awareness. Now close your eyes for a moment. Mostly you think, well, I've gone inside. The outside's still out there. Open your eyes and look out. And notice that suddenly everything you can see is in your awareness again. But then close your eyes again. Take another deep breath and exhale. And realize that even your field of vision is not completely blank just because you close your eyes. You can see the sparkling swirls of color and movement behind your closed eyelids on the screen of your awareness. And that screen isn't right there at your eyelids, is it? There's depth to it. You can see beyond your eyelids, even with your eyelids closed. The field of awareness is infinite, although we typically only use a small part of it that's within close distance to us. Now, the reason we started this was because we had an interest in what could we do for ourselves to help ourselves when what we'd really like is the world to take care of us. But if we're not feeling happy, if we're not feeling energetic, if we're not feeling loved, then almost by definition, the external world is not taking care of us. Fortunately, as we have just seen, we don't live in the external world. We live inside of our own awareness. And our awareness is amenable to our own changes. We can make a difference for ourselves inside of our own awareness. So today I want to teach you a process that I learned from the Andean cattle Indians that allows you to make a difference inside your own awareness. Take a couple of deep breaths now, and as you do, draw them up through the base of your spine, through what the Indian East Indians call your base chakra, there at the bottom of your seat. Fill your lungs completely, and then hold it a moment and feel around inside your own body for any tensions. And then allow them to drain out as you exhale completely. Now imagine drawing up energy from the center of Mother Earth, from the Pachamama. Draw up energy all the way to fill your body completely. Bring that cleansing energy up all the way to the crown of your head, out to the ends of your fingertips, all out to your legs and toes. And then exhale, letting go any tension, any tightness. The Quero Indians call this hucha. Letting hucha be cleansed by your breath. Draw in another deep breath. Notice any residual hucha, any tightness, any density in your body, in your mind, in your heart. And allow that energy to clean that area as you exhale. Sending that heavy energy down through your spine, all the way down to the center of the earth, where Pachamama eats it. The lower worlds are filled with amazing spirits that eat heavy energy. That's how they survive. So when you cleanse yourself of heavy energy, you're giving them a gift. So you could see this by itself is an exercise you can do to get to know your body better, to learn to feel the felt sense of any tightnesses in your body, and to learn to breathe energy up from Mother Earth to cleanse it and exhale the heaviness down to Mother Earth. Now, not every tension may necessarily go away, and that's fine. But don't you begin to feel, just from this breathing, that your mind is clearer, that you're more relaxed? Don't you feel more grounded, more in your true self? Do it one more time. Draw up energy from Pachamama all the way up from your base chakra, up your spine to the top of your head on the next in breath. Wait in the silence for a moment before you exhale and let your shoulders drop. And then exhale completely. Practicing just this part every day can begin to teach you a personal ritual that gives you something to do for yourself, to love yourself, so that you can take care of your own self. The more you practice this, the easier it gets, and the faster you can come back to your complete self. So you can do it in the middle of a break. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it any time when your muscles feel tight or tense. You can do it any time you feel frustrated or angry or sad. This is a tool that you can use for yourself to love yourself more fully. Does that make sense? Okay, in part 2 of this, we're going to assume that you've already done part 1. But it's a second exercise that is useful for you. This is an exercise of making use of that energy that you've drawn up, that cleansed body that you've created. And in this exercise, you're going to draw in energy up from Mother Earth, just like you did before. But when you're completely full, and feel the energy tingling and throughout your whole body, then you're going to think of something that you're grateful for. Once you've thought of something that you're grateful for, you're going to send that gratitude up your spine and out to the top of your head, up here, all the way out and up to the center of the universe. You're essentially giving it to heaven, to God. You're expressing your gratitude to God. Now, what can you be grateful for? Well, you can be grateful for things that you have that you want. I'm so grateful for the friends that I have. I'm so grateful that I got to go to college. I'm so grateful that I have clothes to wear. I'm so grateful for my relationship with my family. And for the parts of my relationship with my family that really helped me to expand. So you can pick specific things that make you feel grateful because you have them. And even if you don't have perfection, you still have some parts of it that you feel grateful for. Alternatively, you can choose to think of things that you're glad you don't have. I'm so grateful that I don't have polio. I'm so grateful that I don't have to walk everywhere. I'm so grateful that I don't live on the streets. Does this make sense? So gratitude can be for what you have or what you don't have that you don't want. So for this next group, draw in and cleanse yourself. Take a few deep breaths just to cleanse yourself, letting that just drop away any tensions, just like you did in the first exercise. Then draw in energy and hold your breath and think of what you're grateful for. And once you have it, before you exhale, imagine sending it up your spinal cord all the way up into the center of the universe through the top of your head to God, to the higher forces of the universe in gratitude. And exhale, sending that up. Then do it again. What else are you grateful for? And a third time. It's good to do at least 3 of each of these. You can do more if you want, but 3 is a good base. Now check in with your sense of self. when you did the first exercise, that was an exercise you could do that would change your basic state and let go of any tensions, right? Fill you with energy, the energy of life, the breath. The second exercise is using that breath to communicate, to transmute that breath into gratitude and send it to the higher realms. We all belong, whether we believe in God or a religion or whatever, we all belong to something bigger than ourselves, even if we just call that nature or the community. So who you send it to, the gratitude you send it to, doesn't have to be based on a particular religion. You can do this in any religion. This is not a religious practice. This is a spiritual practice in the sense of taking care of your own spirit. Once you've sent 2, 3, 4, or as many gratitudes as you'd like, you may want to go on to a third practice. The third practice is drawing down the perfect high frequency energy of God, of the universe. In this, you breathe in, but instead of breathing up from the Mother Earth, you breathe in energy flowing down, and you goes all the way down to the base of your feet and then fills you all the way back up on the in-breath. So it's like this. And then you can either let it out through base, or you can convert it into gratitude and send it up. Or you can use your intention a third way, which is you can imagine that it's filling you completely, but centering in your heart. And there you convert it to love. So often we want others to provide us with love. But that's not the way it works. Love is an action that you take with other people. You give first, and then the reflection comes back to you if they're in a place to receive it and reflect it. Sometimes they're like energy vampires, and you can send them love and send them love and send them love, and it will never be enough. But it doesn't hurt for them to receive that love. So send them as much as you feel comfortable sending. Many times, though, when we want to be in communication with other people, to be in relationship with other people, what that means is we have to give first, and then they will receive that and reflect it back to us. Then we give again, and they receive it back to us. The person with the most consciousness is the one who gets to start the practice, start the process of interacting with the other person in a loving way. You can do this with somebody who's angry at you, and it will shift their experience, and they won't know why. So we draw in the high frequencies from the universe. We convert them in our heart to love, and we send them out. Draw in another from the high energies of the universe. Fill up to the crown. Convert it to love in our heart, and send it out. Can you feel it? If you send loving energy to people, you interrupt their negative processes. And, of course, you make a difference for yourself in the process of doing it. They say that you have to love yourself before you can love others. Well, the way you love yourself is by loving others. Again, doing 3 rounds as a minimum is a good practice. So now, there's one other process that's useful that we learned from the Andes. And it's called eating hucha. That's eating heavy energy for other people. You've already learned how to cleanse your own self, and you've learned how to, once you've cleansed yourself, to send gratitude up using your own intention, your willpower from your hara, from your gut, up to God. And you've learned how to receive God's love and convert it into human love and send it out to others. But sometimes people are in such a bad place that they need support, and they may need you to listen, they may need you to let them talk so that they can work things through, but they rarely need your advice. So what can you actually do for them that can make a difference energetically? Well, you can help them move the hucha, the heavy, dense, condensed energy that's making them angry or frustrated or sad or depressed. You can help them move that through their own bodies. And you can do this without even explaining to them that you're doing it. Don't do this as a power move. Do this out of true love. Do this because you want to make a difference for people. In this process, you picture the person that has the heavy energy out in front of you, in your mind's eye, or literally if they're sitting there, you can do it. And having already gotten yourself prepared, making sure your energy is clear, that you know what gratitude feels like, what love feels like. You draw in your energy. But you don't draw it in from the ground like we did in the first one, and you don't draw it down from God as we did in the third exercise. You instead draw in energy from the part of their body that feels heavy. You basically visualize their body and you intuit where is the condensation, where is the denseness existing? Or you can even ask them, where do you feel that in your body? And then you breathe for them, and you breathe in, drawing that in to just below your own heart, but above your stomach. And then with your intention, you send it down to Pachamama, down to Mother Earth. Heavy energy is her food. She eats heavy energy and converts it into life force. That's what the worms do in the ground. They're down there converting the dead matter, the decaying leaves that have fallen off trees and such. Everything that falls to the earth decays, and the worms and the bacteria convert it back into life force energy. So you imagine their heavy energy and you draw in. And then you immediately send it. And then you do it again. You draw in. And you do it again. And then when you've done it 3 times, you stop for a moment and you do a cycle of breath to make sure that you're not holding any of that old energy. In other words, go back to the first exercise we learned. Breathe up through base chakra, your foundation energy. Life force energy. Fill yourself and feel into your own body, not theirs, into your own body, and look for any tensions. And if you find them, let that life force energy cleanse that, and then exhale and send that down to Mother Earth. It's very important that as you do this on behalf of other people, that you keep your own energy clean, fresh, and charged, well charged with love, charged with life force. You're learning to be responsible for managing your own energy. And with this fourth exercise, you're discovering the very first steps to helping other people manage energy. So you're beginning to learn ways that you can help to rebalance the energy of the space around you by eating hucha. A couple of final words about this. All of this depends upon consciousness. You want to stay as present as possible to this process and to the other person if you're working with another person while you do this. If you do this as a rote ritual, just faking it, it won't work. It only works if you stay conscious. Stay in the present moment. Not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past. Bringing yourself to this very process right now. Secondly, you want to stay mindful of your own body and your body sensations. You want to make sure that at all times you keep the flow moving inside of you so that none of the tensions tighten up. If tensions tighten up, go back to the first exercise, number 1. Find a way to let go of that energy. Lastly, every situation is a balancing act between 3 forces. The force of playfulness, the force of tenderness, and the force of will or directness. You need to ask yourself occasionally, does this situation need me to be more tender, more fierce, more direct, in other words, more focused, laser focused, or more playful, more creative, more changing? Or another question